Silver Banded Retrievers, we teach dogs to blood trail to help find wounded deer. We also do your basic gun dog training and upland dog training as well. With Daisy, what we did with her, we ran her through a series of obedience because we want a dog to be very obedient in the field and around the house. With our dogs tracking off lead, it's important for them to be able to listen when they're in the field working, and even at the house when you want them to do something when you're just hanging out. After the obedience training, we put the dogs through our blood tracking program, which is a 2-month program that teaches the dogs how to identify the smell of blood, follow the track, and recover your down game. Dogs are so vital for deer hunters. We want to make the most ethical shot possible, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and being able to use a dog to recover that game is so important. Through the blood tracking process, we use nothing but strictly deer blood. We want the dogs to follow the scent of the blood and not the deer. So teaching them how to smell blood and what it means, and that there's always a reward at the end is so important. What we basically do is lay a mock trail for the dogs to follow, and through time that track becomes more difficult. It becomes harder for the dog. We try to put the dog through the most rigorous test in the training, so when the client gets the dog to take back home and puts them in the field, hopefully we've exposed them to everything. It's a team effort, and not just all dog and all nose, but sometimes the handler has to pay attention to details as well, and we try to share as much of that information as possible. You know, in today's time, technology is so important with the GPS tracking collars and things of that nature, to where you kind of know where a dog's been and where you've been, and if you happen to lose scent or blood, you know, you can segment out the areas that you haven't been and cover that ground, and hopefully the dog can pick back up on something. You know, these dogs learn that over time there's more to it than just the smelling of the blood. A deer has a scent gland in the bottom of its hoof that puts off a distress smell when it's wounded, and those dogs learn to pick up on that as well. And so sometimes if the blood stops, they learn what that smell is over time, and are still able to track that deer and recover it. You know, what I enjoy most about training and working with these dogs is being able to see them from start to finish, and that finished product. You know, when a dog first comes to us, they're so green, and not a whole lot of knowledge is in that brain of theirs. But when they leave, it's like they're a well-oiled machine, and being able to just see that process and watch the dogs grow from a maturity standpoint, a physical standpoint. It's a really neat thing to see. It's like a building project. You know, watching it start from scratch and build it up, and then watching them have success. There's nothing more that I enjoy than during the hunting season getting calls and text messages from our clients and talking about the great track that their dog was on, or the big deer that was found. There's just something about hearing that joy in that client's voice, and knowing that they're satisfied with the results of their little pup.